Paul writes that women should not be pastors. Is that something that we should take in context or something that we should take literally?
Paul writes that women are not to be pastors. I don't think that's a fair translation. He does write, I do not permit a woman to have authority over a man. And yet, Paul had a partner in ministry named Priscilla, who taught the great preacher Apollos. So what on earth is he saying when he says, I don't allow a woman to have authority over a man? I would argue that he is writing to Timothy in 1 Timothy 2, and he's pointing out that in Ephesus, which is the city that Timothy was pastoring in, there was a goddess, Diana of the Ephesians. So there was massive confusion about sexual roles in Ephesus. Women received a new freedom in Christ that they began to abuse. And that's why in his comments to the Corinthians in 1 Corinthians 11 and 14, he says, I don't allow a woman to teach a man. But wait a second, Paul. You got Priscilla teaching Apollos. I think it gets back to the education issue. Women were not allowed to get an education, so Paul is saying, I'm not going to have an uneducated person starting to teach. Now, what I've just told you, some very strong Christians who I respect highly disagree with me. So please, I'm not trying to contradict them. I'm just telling you how I handle those difficult scriptures. Paul had partners who were women in ministry. Therefore, at Grace Community Church, we have women on staff and in pastoral positions, because I believe that if God gives a woman gifts, we're to give the women opportunity to use those gifts. So we have women elders and we have women planning team members who handle finances, strategy of the church. But I have the utmost respect for pastors who say, Cliff, you're compromising. I don't agree with them, but I understand why they say what they say.